hopefully everyone had a great weekend. Today is February 28th, 2022, and we are starting off with Donna in support. GM Donna, let me get you invited up here. You should see an invite, Donna. I saw that you had your hand raised, but I GM.
Hello, GM, everybody. So for support stats last week, we had 183 new tickets. This is a decrease of 1% from last week's report and a 22% decrease from an 8-week average. Full resolution median time is currently up to 1.9 hours this week. First reply time is at 21 minutes. 57% of the tickets were resolved in one touch. Total solved tickets is at 204. The ticket drivers last week, Porty still tops the list, followed by beta shapeshift.com wallet concerns and then mobile app concerns. For other support issues, from 3 users, we now have 5 affected users with the Atom Send issue, and there is already an active triage thread for this. And then voting for the We Foxed Up campaign is ending on March 2. So please do cast your votes. The snapshot link is on the sheet and we'll post it on the stage chat as well. And then lastly, support community call is coming up next week, March 9th, 3 a.m. MST, and we'd love to see you guys there. That's it, and have a great week, everybody.
Thank you for those updates, Donna, and make sure to go out and support the WeFox Fund out on Snapshot and Boardroom right now. Next up, we have Growth and Globalization, and Hunt and Toasty are not going to be able to be here, so I'll be reading it today. Metafactory design and meeting finalization of designs from Jam with Ashari. Education team meeting Tuesday, and the team is looking at possible education video content ideas and creation. The LATAM E3O finalization of the prep for that and getting tees printed and other merch / promo created. I saw a really cool like a physical Fox token thing that they're gonna give out at E3O. Definitely want one of those. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get one on the second market. Um, push Twitter and LinkedIn followers interactions via Web3 cross promotion for LATAM. LATAM press release strat development, and then globalization, education collaboration, strategizing possible options with share / NFT / education / learn to earn. Next up, we have Pete Coin and marketing. GM Pete Coin.
GM PTT, GM everybody. This week for marketing, continuing staking rewards discussions that started last week. We had a call, and we're waiting for them to get back to us, and then we're going to continue that conversation. Meeting with video producers to make a more effective flow for video content across all of our channels. We are starting the content journey today of What is Yearn, alongside a bunch of sister articles. This was originally a format that was proposed by Willie that we're moving with. You can see this in the marketing workstream Notion. The additional video content is coming from T. Wells, coming in the next few days here. We are focusing on updates in the DAO and specifically on the Coinbase Cloud call. And he will be reaching out to some people looking for interviews and some quotes, so please say yes. What Can I Do With My Fox is another content journey starting based on feedback from the community, both in the forums and in the Discord. And then this week, expanding the Dune Analytics dashboard to track the new Yearn Router assets that were added.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those updates, Pcoin. And next up, we have Giantkin and the Mod Squad. GM Giantkin.
GM. Mine's short. the last 14 days we're at 132 new members. The last 7 days is 71. Craig Bot has been there's an update with that. They do have new people running it now. There's a few people that like Craig Bot, so that's good news to me. I actually added a new one as we are now a premium user. And there's a couple more features, but I'm playing with those yet, so it's going to be a little bit. Our last raid was now the 24th. And we are now at over 8,000 members. That's all.
Awesome, 8,000 Foxy people out there. Next up, we got Diggy and Product. GM Diggy.
GM, everybody. Happy Monday. So for those of you who were either in the office hours or part of that call on Friday, the Yacht Bounty is underway. We have been collaborating with Linem Labs and hoping to get the details of that ironed out over this week so that we can get that ball rolling to get the Yacht integration into the new web app. Definitely still on the radar to get sync up with Mr. Nerdher once he's feeling better to get the Pendo into a staging environment. Hopefully we can make some progress on that this week because we are hungry to get that going. Foxy, for those of you who attended office hours last week, you probably saw a sneak peek of this. I'd like to move this into usability testing. There's a lot of interesting UX complications for Foxy, and I just want to make sure that before we build it, that we've done some rounds of usability testing to make sure that what we're designing makes sense for users and finding areas where we can improve. And then we have some designs needed to support some of the specs that are in progress. Again, if any of you attended office hours last week, you probably saw that we have a lot of specs underway for upcoming features, and there are some design needs to support those. And then, of course, doing anything we can to support the Cosmos and Osmos development. And then upcoming specs that we're working on right now, Thorchain, you probably saw a little bit of that at the office hours. And then mobile app migration as we're looking to get to parity UI to support that. And that's it for me. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those updates, Diggy. Next up, we have Josh in engineering, GM Josh, and I just want to take a second and say thank you for all of your contributions to the DAO over these last, 6 months? And I wish you the best in all of your future endeavors, and hopefully we'll still see you around for at least committees and hanging out.
Oh yeah, thank you, and yeah, you're definitely gonna see me around. I won't be up here giving these announcements and running the engineering kickoff that starts in about an hour, but I'll still be around. That's for sure. I love the DAO too much. And I actually want to start with something totally off our topic, but I just want to give a little acknowledgement to the fact that a war started since we last met, and whatever your leanings are of what you think about that war, people are dying right now, and it's I don't know. I think it's a real shame, and I think we can just give some consideration to that just every once in a while throughout our day. So I just want to acknowledge that. Okay, from an engineering standpoint, this week we are going to have let's see, we didn't know this by this meeting last week, but last week we determined that in an effort to iteratively develop and deliver on Cosmos, not all the way to production, but in an ephemeral environment, this week we're going to give ops and product the ability to test Cosmos balances on the asset details page. So that's super exciting, really shows some good progress towards there. And just the exercise, we got a couple pieces pushed all the way through into production to be able to, on the back end and in our middleware library layer, to be able to make it possible to show this functionality in an ephemeral environment. So look for that later this week. We're finishing up the market service for Cosmos Osmosis. It's near done. And one of the things why we'd be making a little bit more progress on Cosmos, but we've got such a good external developer community going that we've got 20 open PRs that need reviews from the core development team. So that's continuing to take time, and really that's the ethos that engineering, that DeFi has really been championing, that is that we need to become more like maintainers than developers ourselves. So there's going to be this period where we'll just be spending a lot of time helping with the external contributors, and it slows down the work that's assigned to the work stream. And we're also still hiring to try to increase all capacity. Because of the work that we did for item number 1, be able to show the asset balances, because we got some of the back end stuff available, we're going to be able to make more progress. It'll be easier to do make more front end Cosmos progress. And then Unchained is still working on Cosmos TX history. And then you can see I mentioned how good our bounty process is going. You can see details of that in line number 6. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for those updates. And again, thank you so much for your contributions. And yeah, prayers and thoughts out to those in Ukraine. And hopefully, if anyone has family or friends there, that they are getting to safety and remain safe. Next up, we have Mr. Nerdhair in Security. GM Mr. Nerdhair. Uh-oh. We aren't hearing you. Well, maybe try hopping off the stage and coming back on. If that doesn't fix it, I can read it off for you.
Any luck?
Yep, we can hear you now. Great.
Hey, no idea what's up with that. Right. So, I was pretty sick last week. Post ETH Denver, still worth it, but yeah, kind of sucked. The priorities for this week are largely the same as what should have happened last week, which include Pendo integration and alpha. Foxy security review is new on the plate, as well as coordinating response to Keep Key bug report that came in last week. That's probably a little lower on the priority list, just because it's going to take probably a few weeks of testing at least before we can get out a fix for that. Not like super critical. Let's see. I'm feeling better, but I am traveling back to glorious Southwest Virginia tomorrow. So I expect to probably be back up to full speed Wednesday. If I obviously ping me and things if you need me. But just be aware that's my schedule. Thanks for listening, I guess, and love all y'all.
Awesome. Thanks, Mr. Nerdhair, and safe travels on your way back home. Next up, we have Tyler in Operations. GM Tyler.
GM Ron and GM Fox fan. On operations plate this week, we had 4 issues come through triage. One of them was resolved, and that was at stasis from our last week of 4 issues as well. So no change there. We are redefining and updating our testing agreement, as well as our testing templates, and we are going to be decreasing some of the testing frequency thanks to the new Cypress tests that we've been able to implement and will be able to implement in the future as well. So be on the lookout for some modified testing agreements and just kind of some changed expectations on how frequently ops will be testing everything. There's this really nice thing about us having open code is that it does what it's supposed to, because you can see everything that it's doing there. So it's going to be really nice on our test fund budget, and we should have some really great numbers of pre and post Cypress ops test funding. So those will be cool to look into in a little bit. Wesley and Max are training this week. They're the newest ops assistant members. You've probably seen them around on deployment tests or anything like that. Say what up if you see them. Shifty's going to be our operations lead for the releases, so he might be reaching out to you if you are involved with the release today or a PR in a release. Maybe didn't do everything that was expected to. So keep your eyes out there. And then we had a conversation at the end of the governance call last week. It went a little long, so sorry if you jumped out beforehand. But we kind of came to a unanimous decision with everyone that was on the call that the bots and the traffic from and all of kind of the negative attention from all of these POAPs that we've been doing is not worth the effort that we've been putting into to make the POAPs. And so for now, until we can find a better means of handling these bot randos that just show up on all of our calls, we will not be issuing POAPs for our Discord participation calls. But this did highlight that everyone was super interested in potentially getting POAPs connected to Snapshot for our votes. So Ops is going to be looking into that and seeing what kind of resources we need to expend to get our stickers where they rightfully need to be. And that's it from Ops. GM, everyone.
GM, thank you for those updates from Ops, Tyler. Next up, we have Kenton Tokenomics. GM Kent.
GM Ron. Hey, everybody. How's it going? I, too, wound up with the post-ETH Denver Confluenza. I still feel like ass, but like Mr. Nerd Harris said, it was totally worth it. It was pretty awesome. Anyway, my brain appears to be working somewhat, so let's dig in here. Just to echo what Josh was saying, you know, on one hand, this war thing is pretty sad to see that, you know, humans are still capable of this. If you're a pessimist about human nature, it's sort of like validating that. But I think, you know, with respect to what we do here in crypto, there's kind of like, you know, it's interesting to see what's going on is crypto is providing a way for Ukrainians to, specifically the Ukrainian government to support the country's efforts to fight back the Russians. And then meanwhile in Russia, you know, there's all of a sudden there's this newfound realization that crypto is actually pretty useful when centralized forms of money get cut off. So whatever happens with this, assuming that the world doesn't go nuclear, in which case we're screwed, it's really an interesting sort of highlighting of the use cases of crypto. So and with respect to the DAO itself, you know, we've seen market volatility. Crypto seems to be holding up pretty well right now, as does Fox, but things could change a lot depending on the situation. I mean, this is a war in Europe on a large scale. Our generations have never seen anything like this. So again, you know, this underscores the reason why we need more stable coins. The stablecoin reserves are growing. I think we're around 2 million now, which is a huge improvement. One area that will improve this further is the sale of our success token, which is getting finalized today, at least for one of our primary investor for this round. We're really looking forward to having that wrapped up, and then we can reveal who the investor is. It's a big deal. It's very cool. And it will help us making progress towards those stables, building up that reserve. On another investment-related note, John has a draft proposal out on the forum. This is as relates to a creation of a sub-DAO that would focus on sort of venture-type funding for where the DAO would invest into early-stage projects. There's a lot of detail there, but I think it's really a powerful idea at the core. So take a look at it. You know, look at how it's John's proposing it gets implemented. Of course, you know, as always, the devil's in the details. But I think as a core vision, it's very powerful. On a TMDC note, two votes were made last week. This relates to the collateralization or recollateralization of our FAY loans, our Fuse loans. We were able to leverage a lower rate in a different pool to recollateralize and effectively save money moving forward. We also pre-approved up to $1,000 USD worth of toke every month. Of course, you know, we're earning toke because we deposit all that Fox into the reactor. The nice thing about this is it lets us potentially use those funds for other things, thus sort of allowing us to continue to build up our stack of stable coins. So in terms of this upcoming payroll, we're looking at essentially doing probably pulling from our stables minus maybe selling that toke for 100K. If this month is similar to other ones, we'll be raising or needing about 400 to 500K worth of USDC. Again, because of our Olympus bond, we're generating about 100,000 every day on average, which is a big help. We'll dig into a lot more detail tomorrow with our tokenomics chat. But yeah, as always, there's a lot going on. So have a great week, everybody.
Feel better, Kent, and thank you for those updates. Next up, we have
Yeah,
Willie
thanks,
and
man.
Ocean from the Fox Foundation. GM Willie and Ocean.
GM Ron, how you doing today?
Best day ever. How about you?
Likewise, love to hear it. All right, we only got a few updates from the foundation end this week. Up first, this Foxy proposal from Ocean is live, so please vote. And if you have any questions, please ask in the Foxy channel on Discord. Also, the DAO terms and privacy policy will be published soon, just pending some final changes from Mr. Nerdhair and Andy, the attorney that drafted these, and possibly you. There was some good feedback just on whether terms of service is the right language to use, and whether we should say that every user is entering a legally binding agreement. So great feedback from Mr. Nerdhair. Also, DeFi Cafe and Major Hayes had some great feedback. And if you have any feedback, now's the time. This will be the first time that these terms and privacy policy go live. So the feedback was around making sure that the first version we get up is solid and doesn't open us up to any liability or anything that we don't want. So thanks for the feedback. Please check it out. It's actually pretty cool too. If you've never read terms of service or privacy policy, and you did a pretty great job making this human readable. So it's a good read. Definitely encourage checking that out and sharing any feedback. The success tokens have been minted, and we're going to be transferring the first batch of success tokens tomorrow, March 1st. There are still some success tokens available for sale. So we didn't fill out the entire $2 million round. Some investors came in for lower amounts than what we were hoping. But now that these are minted, they're in the DAO's treasury, and we can continue selling them even after this initial close tomorrow. So if you know any potentially interested investors, please point them our way, or I'll post the doc in here right now if anyone wants to just share that. It's got all the details about the sale. Also, we're going to be chatting with Uma this week to discuss announcement, as well as the growth and marketing work streams will be joining us on that call. So stay tuned for details. Really excited to share the investors that are in this round. Want to make sure we announce this and get the most bang for our buck. Ocean, anything else I left out?
No, man, I think you did a great job. Just here for, I don't know, just nothing. Thanks, Willie. Appreciate it.
Thank
Moral
you, sir.
support.
Yep.
Awesome.
Have a good day,
If
everyone.
anyone else on the stage has anything, feel free to type or raise your hand now. Otherwise, we can give everyone back a few minutes and continue about our days. I'll bring Lo-Fi back up. Thanks, Meg. Don't forget to vote on all the proposals out there right now. I believe there are a few in ideation in the forum as well. And there's a lot of good conversation out there regarding them. Does not look as though anyone else is... Oh, Bitcoin sipping? Nope. He's sharing a link. Awesome. I will call this meeting adieu and wish everyone a great day.